Jimmy Spoon and the Pony Express by Kristina Gregory, 25, Washaki. A pack of barking dogs swarmed out to the meadow to meet Pen and Jimmy. This made Jimmy laugh. He remembered fondly how there were always dogs around camp. Some were pets, but most were strays who made a lot of noise and dust when visitors came. 3 young boys on pintos galloped out, their braids flying on their small bare chests puffed up as if they were warriors. "Yes, it is Dawi," one shouted as they circled the pair, then formed ranks. Proudly, they escorted the newcomers into camp. Now Jimmy was certain his family was here. Even these boys expected him. As they crossed the meadow toward the teepees, Jimmy's heart beat fast. He was thrilled to see so many familiar faces in the crowd gathered around them. Children raced each other between the lodges to be first to get a good look. Someone called Jimmy's name, then someone else. An older woman he didn't recognize walked alongside his horse with her hand on his knee. She smiled up at him. Pen, however, had never met an Indian, and now there were hundreds, all staring and wondering about him. He was so nervous, color had drained from his face. His stomach churned, as if it might empty itself on the spot. "Jimmy," he said, "I'm not feeling so good." Even though Pen's words were not Shoshone, the old woman seemed to understand. She came to his side and touched his hand. He let her help him from the saddle. As several women guided Pen to a shady tree, Jimmy saw movement in the crowd to his right. He knew immediately that the tall man stepping out was Washaki. His war bonnet of eagle feathers looked like a high white crown, and his hair hung loose over his shoulders. He wore a shirt of blue cotton with a buckskin vest beaded down the front. "Dawi," he said, motioning for someone to take Jimmy's horse. But the chief was too overcome with emotion to continue. His arms enfolded Jimmy with the affection he reserved for his family. They walked along the river. It was late afternoon, and sunlight glimmered off the water where tiny flies and mosquitoes hovered. A fish broke the surface to feed. Then, with a small splash of its tail, swam down to the sandy bottom. For a long time, Jimmy and Washaki sat cross-legged in the grass. Neither spoke. After so many hours on horseback, Jimmy's head hurt, but he didn't want to sleep, not yet. He drank in every familiar sight and sound. How good it was to hear children playing again, to hear the voices of women working together. Somewhere in the distance, a man sang to a slow beat of a drum. Wood smoke drifted in the warm breeze, bringing with it the delicious aroma of roasting meat. Jimmy glanced at Washaki's profile. He was still a handsome man. The deep scar under his left cheekbone was from an arrow long ago, a scar like Jimmy now had. Did he suffer from headaches too? There was so much Jimmy wanted to ask his brother, so much he wanted to tell him. For now, though, they would enjoy each other's quiet company. Washaki would take him to see old mother when the time was right. Jimmy closed his eyes to savor the thought that had just come to him. "I am home. Finally, I am home." And that is the end of chapter 25.